other items I wanted to mention that have gotten some press in the print media that I just wanted to address. One, the first was the residency requirement. You know, we have a residence requirement. We're diligent. We have 2 attendance officers that work very, very hard and more at making sure that whenever we have registrations that we feel that we need to have home visits, they make home visits many times with the resource officers that we have available to us through the Quincy Police Department. Home visits, we look at a lot of legal papers that residents or people that are moving in need to share with us. You know, but we ask for your help. You know, if there are ways that you feel, if you know of families that are educating their children, young adults in the city of Quincy that do not belong here, that aren't residents, we need to know that. So maybe we can work on it. Really, that's one to mention was the Goals program, the Goals building on 12 Hunt Street. This is a special education program. I've been asked about questions of funding. It's funded by somewhat of a combination of an entitlement grant from the federal government, special education entitlement grant. It came about probably about 14 or 15 years ago when there became a need in the Quincy Public Schools to take a look at how we service our behavioral students that have a very, very, very difficult time in the mainstream. How could we work with those students, work with those families, keep them in the city, and educate them, and hopefully have them graduate? Well, so about 14 or 15 years ago, we started this program, and the program has been incredibly successful. 33 students there right now. We have 7 staff members there right now, 5 teachers.
Good evening. My name is Paul Keeley. My son's a freshman here at school. Chief, the time of the altercation, this was after school hours?
Yeah, that's correct. The incident happened at 3:33 is when we received the 911 call.
Okay. There was a print media, I believe it was the Ledger, that said there was an altercation in the cafeteria post-shooting. Is that true?
No, yes, there was an altercation it wasn't the cafeteria. It was the cafeteria.
Now, I don't want to speculate on that. I guess my question is, what are the access points to the school after hours? How do these kids get into the school? And can anybody get into the school after hours with the weapon unseen?
A security guard at the front of the building. The back of the building, as you may know, we had a basketball game going on, we had wrestling practice, we had several clubs going on in the cafeteria. And those doors, those Hunt Street doors are open. So I mean, I think that whether or not in the future, what we'll look at is reallocating or adding that second security guard to that area.
We're hearing that there's knives in school. Is there talk anything about a metal detector or anything of that nature?
I just want to go home tonight. I want to know, are these kids Quincy kids or are they Boston kids using Quincy addresses? And also, was this drug related or is it over a girl or was it just I just feel like these kids are 4 kids who really aren't from here. And I don't want to see them back here. But, and I was really surprised there wasn't an assembly either. I thought that would be the first thing you guys would do when the kids came back to school the next day. But. So A, is it drug related, and B, are these children from Quincy? They're not Quincy kids, I don't think. And who owns that greenhouse? And is that a drug den?
My question is, what's going to be done about the surrounding neighborhood, and what's the crime issues in the neighborhood surrounding North Quincy? Do we have to be worried about firearms? Do we have to be worried about drugs in the neighborhood?
Those areas that you mentioned, North Quincy High School, Hunt Street, Goals program, as well as McDonald's. And nothing really jumped out at me as that it should be considered a high crime area or an unsafe area. I think what we have to focus on here is this is an isolated incident. It's not indicative of a bigger problem, I don't believe. I believe that it was a situation where there was 2 warring parties came together, and unfortunately it happened to come together in your neighborhood, and unfortunately it happened to come together near a school. There was a small There's a small connection with the school because some of them are students, and it perhaps started as a disagreement in the school and kind of spilled over. But in looking at the area as a whole or in general, it's still a very safe area.